drugs. I think that the battle, the war on drugs has been an utter failure, and I think that we need to rethink and decriminalize our marijuana laws. But I'm not somebody who believes in legalization of marijuana. What I do believe is that we need to rethink how we are operating in the drug wars, and I think that currently we are not doing a good job. Thank you.
He's tough on crime, lock them up, you know. And that's the way these guys ran, and they got elected. But that wasn't the answer. But there's something else we've got to recognize. We're locking up people that take a couple of puffs of marijuana, and the next thing you know, they got 10 years. They've got mandatory sentences, and these judges just say, they throw up their hands and say, nothing we can do, there's mandatory sentences. We've got to take a look at what we're considering crimes, and that's one of them. I mean, I'm not exactly for the use of drugs, don't get me wrong, but I just believe that criminalizing marijuana, criminalizing the possession of a few ounces of pot and that kind of thing, I mean, it's costing us a fortune, and it's ruining young people. Young people go into prisons, they come out, they go in as youths, and they come out as hardened criminals, and that's not a good thing.
Exactly.
Right. Well, Wendy Griffin.
He says, I really believe we should treat marijuana the way we treat beverage alcohol. I never used marijuana, and I don't intend to, but it's just one of those things that I think this war on drugs just hasn't succeeded.
Why? Why is marijuana such a hot-button issue? And why are the opinions about marijuana so scattered? With medical marijuana being such a popular issue in the media these days, I thought I'd look into what the fuss is all about. I started with talking to some folks in Georgetown and Round Rock to see what they think about all this.
For medicinal purposes, should be allowed and recognized by the government because it's proven through scientific studies that it is effective in treating a lot of ailments that conventional medications cannot treat.
Well, if it is a medical reason and they're using it, well then I guess I don't have a problem with it. Where I guess I would have a problem with it is if they're using marijuana and then they're getting out on the streets and driving and what have you, and then affecting people, maybe having wrecks and what have you. It'd be the same way as driving under the influence. I'd have a problem with that. But if they're doing it recreationally in their own home and they're not hurting anybody and they're not getting behind the wheel of a car, well then I guess I really wouldn't have a problem with it.
The medical marijuana, the jury's still out on that one. Could leave a lot of room for abuse.
I think if there is a medical benefit, you know, just like any drug that you have to have a prescription for, if you have a prescription, I guess that's good. I don't think it should be legal for anybody to have it just because it will, you know, hinder you driving and it's a danger to other people.
I don't have a problem with anybody doing their drugs in their house or whatever, as long as they don't do it outside and kill someone driving.
Decriminalizing it for specific purposes, medical use is, I believe that that's just fine. I know that people sometimes need alternatives to regularly prescribed drugs, and I don't see a problem with that. I think there needs to be regulation as far as its use outside of the medical realm.
As far as the medical uses of it, I'm all for it.
There are cases where people will go and say, well, I'm stressed out. Okay, you can get marijuana. Mm-hmm. And so then it's a game being played, and it's a scam on American society, and that's, I don't think that it's any value in it.
I'd have to read up more on it, you know, get a little more information myself, but I think a lot of people do get it that shouldn't be getting.